Didner here. Yay! Welcome to B2B Marketing and More. I talk about B2B marketing in the field of content marketing, account-based marketing, MarTech specifically, and strategic planning. My channel is more about providing the thinking process, how to address some of the marketing challenges, especially on the client side. I'm interviewing Jeff Coyle today, and we are going to talk about something very, very special and the topic I love, artificial intelligence. Let's get started. So welcome, Jeff. It's so happy to have you on my show. Why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do? I know you have an awesome product, and I have seen the demo in the past, and I loved it. I can't afford it, but I loved it.
Maybe we'll talk about that today too. I'm Jeff Coyle. I'm the co-founder and chief product officer for Marketmuse. And a little bit about my background. I've been fortunately or unfortunately in the content strategy, content marketing, lead gen, and search engine optimization game for about 21 years.
All good things. I love everything you said. The lead gen, the content marketing, the demand gen. Yay, the favorite topics. Hard to do it well, but you have a lot to share.
Yeah, and so I worked at a major, one of the first people who were selling leads to B2B technology companies before people even had content. You know, we were convincing large multinational B2B companies to write white papers and syndicate them, because they didn't even have them at the time. You know,
they probably focus on sales collateral. That's the only thing they.
A lot of brochureware, a lot of white papers, and that's it, right? And so we kind of enhanced that space, and then we were acquired by a major publisher. I worked with them in-house for a number of years, and during the late phase of that, I was doing basically editorial teams, content teams, product marketing teams, and SEO teams don't always work together. Pam, are you aware of that? They don't always work together?
My God, don't talk whenever you talk about those topics in terms of how to create a good content and the multiple teams that needs to come together, yes, I understand the pain.
You know, and so I built all these manual workflows for using data in those conversations. So how does the search engine optimization team best communicate with an editorial team who, frankly, if you just give them a spreadsheet full of words, they're going to go tell you an expletive and they're going to say, move on. And so I went through that. I knew that there was the better way to provide insights from research. And I found my co-founder at Marketmuse had taken one of those workflows and automated it. The workflow of researching topics. So truly telling the story about what it means to be an expert on a topic. And when you turn that and you integrate that information into a research process, that speaks the language of the editorial leadership. That speaks the language of the subject matter expert, because you're not giving them a word because of some esoteric data point. You're saying, hey, if you're going to cover this topic comprehensively, you want to make sure that we have pages about this, sections about that.
Yeah.
You speak the language of the user. And that became Marketmuse, was the solution that brings those teams together by providing insights that are going to be, you know, awesome, exciting amplifiers for editorial leaders, writers, but also have the same benefits that SEOs want: traffic, conversions, leads, engagement. So everyone's happy and everyone's working together towards the same data-driven goal for the first time. And now it's kind of the mission of what we do by really setting the standard for content quality. So we've created an objective measure of content quality and comprehensiveness. And we tell the story of what it means to be an expert on anything. So we can say, hey, Pam, I can look at your site and I can say, you are obviously the expert on sales enablement, but here's a few things you haven't really covered comprehensively. And you go, oh yeah, those are obvious things that I should write about.
Yeah.
But if I just shot you a spreadsheet with words in it, you go, yeah, I'll get to that next year.
All right.
That's the difference.
I hear you. So I actually, for listeners who are listening, I just want to let you know, I have seen the demo. It's actually pretty impressive. It's a very, I would say, comprehensive in terms of taking SEO, taking the initial preparation that you need to do to determine a topic, and also create a draft and then move your content along the production stage, if you will. Not necessarily like when I say production, it's not video production, but like creating that draft to get to the finish line.
Yeah, so the big thing for us is we want to be, no matter who the role on those teams are, we have amplifiers for those workflows. So if you are the person who's coming up with what should we create or what should we update today, that's going to have the biggest impact on the business. Or let's say you have a business goal. I want to own this topic by the end of the year. Marketmuse can tell you what articles need to be built or what articles need to be updated. And then we follow through with the content briefs. So we actually build content briefs at scale. We have teams that get thousands of content briefs. And they basically provide an outline or a single source of truth for the writer. So when the writer produces, they can focus on being creative. They can focus on being the expert that you're paying them for, not doing stuff that they don't want to do.
Like SEO, like doing a lot of research and finding the title, what works, what not. Yes.
Exactly. So then when they give you that draft, it's highly likely because you built the brief, you ordered the content with the brief, they're going to give you something that's going to have less feedback cycles, and it's likely going to meet the guardrails, the guidelines that you've set. That's what a brief does. It creates a single source of truth, a point of reference. We've automated all of those processes, so you can say, okay, the best article I can write today is on how do you make the best product marketing materials for events. I just made that up. Maybe that's not a good idea, maybe it is. And we will build the outline, and you can write it, and you know that it's going to be successful. That's the goal. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. And one of the key product features of Marketmuse is to use artificial intelligence, AI, to build content planning, optimize content, like you said, such as your blog, your white paper, your thought leadership pieces. So can you elaborate a little bit how Marketmuse uses AI and how does that help the content marketers?
Sure thing. So we built our own natural language processing platform effectively. One of the components is in a branch of AI called topic modeling in natural language processing. And we are a machine learning kind of think tank. We have our own data science lab in Montreal called the M4 lab. And we have
How big is the lab?
It's like physically it's not very big, but
I'm talking about the employees,
Yeah, we have 6 team members that are devoted specifically to AI, and we have a number of advisors who some names I'm allowed to say, some names
totally
I'm not.
It's totally okay.
They are thought leaders in the fields of natural language processing, natural language generation, as we're going to talk about, and in text linguistics, computational linguistics, and other dynamics there. So those folks are spending nearly all of their time on back-end engineering on this platform that can assess effectively what it means to be an expert on a topic. We can say this, we tell the story that if you were to cover this topic comprehensively and truly be an expert, how would you do it on one page? How would you do it in one cluster of content? How would you do it across an entire site? And then we're able to overlay that information into common workflows. So we can take that model and map it to your page and say, here's a page level audit of the thing you wrote. You had a few blind spots.
Okay, go fix it.
Go add a section. Or we can go up to a competitive dynamic and go, across the 20 competitors who you're researching, here's the stuff they did, and here's the stuff that Marketmuse says is very relevant and no one's done. And there's your area of differentiation. So we don't just tell you how to do everything like everybody else. We tell you how to differentiate yourself from them. That's very special. That's unique to Marketmuse. At the site level or the network level, if you've got a lot of sites, we work with a lot of large publishers. We give you basically an on-demand content inventory and audit, and all the value that goes along with it. And it's all personalized. So we're the only in-market application that can tell you how hard it will be for you to rank for a topic. Not just how hard it is, because that's not valuable to me. If I have a brand new website and I go write the best review of the new iPhone ever, I have no chance of getting any traffic from organic. But if I'm CNET, I go write that article and I win.
Yeah.
Marketmuse answers the question of why behind that dynamic. So if you go write sales enablement tactics for first year BDRs, it's going to rank.
Right. Got it.
All right. And why? So why is that? And
So
we with our technology.
Your platform or your tool can actually identify some of the gap or
areas of opportunity as well as
yes. What I call it niche, but you say areas for opportunities. I like that term much better.
And the gaps too. And the gap could be a variant. So you covered this with a great long form thought leadership piece, but you missed a few details. Or it could be vice versa. You wrote something that answered one question and you never spoke to the big picture. So we tell the story of what that true user intent profile is, and everywhere you've done it, everywhere you haven't, what are your most important pages to lean into for links, to point new pages to? What are your risk areas? So this is a big area for us, is risk. You have a page out there, it's doing well, you don't even know why, and you need to support it. You might have a page that's out there, I call it the arm. It's a hand without an arm. It's just out there. It just gets a bunch of traffic, and you have never supported. You never built the foundation. Right. You got to build that foundation.
Yeah, to amplify and expand that. So it sounds like that you are using artificial intelligence to do kind of like a very holistic assessment, identify the areas for improvements, identify the gaps that you need to do. You look at the site level, at the page level, or even at a specific content. Is that correct?
And you can go to the paragraph level, you can go any level of specificity. Even networks, we can say, like we tell a large publisher, if you're going to write an article about this TV show and you're going to write about the actors on the TV show, you put that over here. And if you're going to write about ways to stream it, you're going to put that over here.
Over there. Yep.
On the other side, right? So we can even get into that level of detail. And then our new technology on natural language generation, which I know we'll talk about, is we use those briefs. So if you think about it, right? Marketmuse is the only solution that can automate a high quality brief and an outline. Well, we set guidelines for content. We set guardrails for intent. We build the topic model. The next step is obviously to start to build out drafts.
Yeah. So it sounds like it's this invisible virtual assistant. It's a virtual editorial assistant in a way.
Absolutely. And you're giving you the inspiration so that if I focus on this and really put my energy towards it, and I write a great production value, high quality, wonderful narrative that meets these guidelines, it's going to be so successful, right? And now we're building out drafts that give you inspiration with our new offering, which comes out officially next month.
Can't wait to see it.
It gives you the inspiration in the form of completely original drafts that you then, it's called Marketmuse First Draft.
Yes. With that being said, you kind of touch the topics I want to ask you next. Obviously, the latest buzz in the field of AI is GPT-3. And I read an article about a blog post you guys wrote about expose GPT-3 in terms of what it can or can't do. And for the audience who is either watching or listening, and the GPT-3 is this very powerful language model that uses machine learning to generate human-like text. That's what GPT-3 is. And are you leveraging GPT-3 at all, or you are doing stuff on your own?
All of our natural language processing and natural language generation is all proprietary, built by us. All the models are built by us. We are not using a library, a Google library or a GPT-2 or 3 or any of the, we know how they work. We've used them. We know the dynamics. GPT-3 is one of the most amazing innovations in artificial intelligence of all time.
Yeah, it's up to date. Yeah, maybe something that's coming in the next year. But as of now, yes, it's quite amazing.
It's amazing. And the span, the wideness, the amazing scale that it works at, and the applications out of it are significant.
Yep. I 100% agree with you. I addressed that a little bit at my general session at Content Marketing World 2020. And I specifically talking about that a content pretty much can be written for you if you use artificial intelligence. And it sounds like you're doing something similar to that as well.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, right? It can be written, but is it telling the story you want it to tell?
Yes. Does that meet your objective? Does that resonate with your audience? Does that bring a hook? Yes,
Right.
I hear
and
you.
it's a general purpose language model. So it's not a solution. It is an API. It requires, now in its current form, a lot of programming skills. Yeah. It provides a shallow writing output. It lacks structure. It degrades over time. It is, not considering your workflows. It's certainly not optimized. And it begins to repeat. It can plagiarize.
Mm-hmm.
It suffers from GPT-2 suffered from degradation at a severe rate, right? It ended up pam, 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 pam. It would make some really kooky stuff. GPT-3 is shockingly better, and you can begin to work with it, but it is still subject to that degradation in long form content and in short form content. But
I do agree with you. I think having a machine generate, say, a draft, just like you said, is a draft. The human still needs to take over and conduct the quality checks, still need to edit as you see fit. You still need to make sure that you read it, that align with your objectives and what you want to accomplish.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where, so the solution, Marketmuse first draft versus GPT-3. First of all, like you mentioned, I believe the Guardian post, and that is an output of 8 generations, and it's curated by editors.
They brief GPT-3. They provide a specific instruction, what they want GPT-3s to write. At the same time, they also provided the opening paragraph. So they provide kind of like in-depth instruction for the machine, so machine can process and determine how they want to write it. Yeah.
What I'll tell you though is if you saw all 8 of those generations back to back, you wouldn't have been all that impressed.
I saw a portion of it. I didn't see all 8 of them, but I saw 1 or 2. But if nothing else, I saw the outcome of it. Yeah.
You saw the outcome's amazing. It's curation, right? You had to do work on it. So the human brain now has never experienced the outcome of generation at this level. Washington Post, these are the problems that content marketing people need to solve, are like Washington Post solved with Heliograph, right?
Heliograph, yes. I was, and they did that back in 2016 and 2017.
Right, but you think about the problems, right? The problem was I can't cover the election.
At the local level, right?
I cover 8%. But now Heliograph lets us cover all of them.
All of it.
That's solving a business problem. Okay, I can't cover all the Olympic events and the medals. Well, now I can cover all of them. Can we program Heliograph with rule-based rules so that it can catch the exceptions? Yeah, judo has 2 bronze medals. Okay, if you just program it as a template, it's going to miss that, and it's going to misinform the world. So they thought of that, right? You've got platforms out there that can do data-driven template content. It's not this, right? But GPT-3 isn't doing either. It's not producing content that is meeting specifications. It's not producing content that is connecting with your goals as a content marketer.
Yeah.
A template might even do a better job than that, but you're not hitting targets for tone. It's not training on your content either. So Marketmuse first draft, the unique value is we can train it on your blog. It can write like PAM.
Yeah, understood.
And it can write to spec.
Great answer. Love it. Can you tell us what features your team is working on in the next 6 to 8 months? I know product roadmaps tend to be confidential, but if you can share, that would be greatly appreciated.
I share most things, as you know. First of all, Marketmuse first draft, it's in private alpha right now. It launches into public beta, most likely towards the end of next month or November. So it'll be in Q4, it's coming out. That's a big splash. Also, for the first time, Marketmuse is putting new offerings at a couple lower price points.
It's about time, Jeff. I remember talking to you at a conference last year, and you were telling me like, our product focuses on enterprise. And I was quietly walking away from your booth and say, thank you so much. It's nice talking to you. But I had a chance to watched the demo and I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I need. And it helped me and the content marketer to do SEO and search for the right title and identify a niche topics that we can write about so we can rank organically higher than, whatever content we do. And I thought this is great.
So that's going to be a big deal. So we have those things. That's all happening in October. We have so much demand, and we didn't have a place for a solopreneur. We didn't have a place for a small team, or even a startup or a small agency. Now easy decisions are there for you. We're also upgrading a lot of our current clients based on that. That's exciting. So those are huge things.
So what are the pricing points? Can you say that again?
$79, $179, and $499 a month are our self-service agreements. And then we have our premium product line, which will remain at those price points. There are some options for going annual, which makes it even more attractive. Just right in the software. I mean, you can just jump in, get started, and go. For us, that's a new frontier. It's already unlocked a lot of amazing things. We learned so much from our users and so much from our clients. One of them I'm extremely excited about. We're going to have the most accurate measure for potential upside.
So you can forecast how content really performs, right?
We're going to basically say, you are here. Here's the estimated traffic and value. We're going to have some customization for getting even more specific into the actual return on investment right in the application. And you're going to be able to see what Marketmuse thinks your potential upside is right now. And then what your upside is if you were the best. So we don't think we might not think you can be the best yet, but this is where you could get with an easy, quick win. So we're basically trying to get into predicting your likelihood of success. And it's fantastic because then that tells the story of when you're using it, you can justify the expense very easily.
Yeah, exactly. So you can quantify the ROI.
Direct quantification of value. We already do it for all our clients with things like QBRs, quarterly business reviews, or through custom reporting. But we need that in the self-service offering. Right? It has to be automated, right? Yeah. And so we've really focused on that because we know how successful our clients are. We need to make it easier for them to know. And that's been a big initiative. So far, huge response to this information. And, it's so fun to go in and look at your content and go, oh, wow, if I had to go buy the same traffic this page generated, it would cost me $10,000 a month. Holy cow, right? I didn't even know that. Or allowing me to also add other data points in the future. So all of that those are our big moves. We're really stretching the market, down market, as well as releasing innovation for the generation side. What I'll say is nothing is in market that comes close to Marketmuse first draft.
We will definitely look for the announcements. So is the announcement sometime in October?
Yeah, most likely it will be. It could get delayed into later in Q4, but it'll be in Q4.
In Q4 sometimes. We'll definitely pay attention to that. It's so wonderful to have you on the show. I hope to see you again soon. Hopefully at the Content Marketing World or physical event.
Yeah, I did my Content Marketing World presentation. I think we're going to be 1 and 2 in the best, and the second best one. You obviously the best one. We'll see how that goes when it publishes. But Content Marketing World is going to be amazing. The lineup. I'm so excited to just veg out and watch all the recordings, frankly. So
I'm looking forward to seeing you virtually at the Content Marketing World. Thank you so much for coming to my show.
Thank you so much, Pam. We really appreciate it.
Again, thank you so much for watching the show. Provide the comments below. Subscribe if you can. Love to hear from you. If you want to chat, reach out on any social media channels or email me at hello@pamdidner.com. I do speaking, training, workshop, consulting, anything B2B related. If you need any help, you know where to reach me. Join my Facebook community as well. Build your marketing skills to get ahead. Love to hear from you. Take care. Bye.